First take. We did it.
Yeah, good job.
Oh.
Everyone does the double chin.
Cut. We're live.
We are live.
Okay. The third note.
We are live. Wherever you want it.
Well, I did it like over the mic just backwards and all that. That wouldn't make a lot of sense for this. You know?
But we'll go ahead and start. So tell me who you are. Who are you?
Man. Kind of just to encompass the whole brand, really. It just some dude. I'm Logan Jenkins, and I am the 51% owner of CrossFit SDA. 49.
Tell the people who you are.
Who I am? Well, I'm a student at A&M.
Gigs.
Exactly. Boyfriend to the lovely Hannah Vanacore,
Shout out Hannah.
a CrossFitter.
Miss her.
I've been doing that for forever, but I mean, I'm really just a person. I try to pour everything that I have into all the things I do it to the best of my ability.
Okay, so tell the people who you are.
I am. Oh, am I looking at you or am I looking at the camera?
Either one. Probably me.
Okay. So like stare down the
Just
camera.
stare down at everybody.
I'm Anastasia. I'm on SDA. I was on SDA last year as well, so I'm returning to my second year. But I train out of CrossFit Evo in Cypress, Texas.
All right, so Sam, who are you?
Hi, Sam. I am Sammy J. I am some dude's wife. I am actually the 51% owner of CrossFit SDA.
Yeah, you are. All right, Tori,
Yeah.
who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Tori Tinklepaw. I'm gonna start in what I deem most important. So I'm a mom because that's just like my most favorite thing I've ever gotten to do in life. I'm a sister, a daughter, a wife, a gym owner. I think a very loyal and passionate friend.
This year has been special. This year has been a roller coaster. But 3 years at semifinals, 1 year at the end.
Go into a little bit more of why this year has been a roller coaster. Like, why do you say it
you
like
want to
that?
just open
Yeah,
that up
just
right away.
let's go.
No holds bar on this.
Nope.
That's fine.
I'll edit stuff out
This
if
is
I
not
need
safe
to.
for work. No, I'm just kidding. Don't break the fourth
You
wall.
can answer based on your own discretion. You can share as much as you
Sure.
want, or
I mean, at this
nothing
point,
all.
we might as well just put it on a t-shirt. There was a lot of stuff that happened last year that kind of led me to question, like, am I doing this right? And, like, did I have the right things at the center of my life? And everybody says, like, yeah, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans, right?
Right.
And it's like, okay, Tuesday, train, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, rest, and then we taper Monday, leave for Houston Tuesday night. So like a week before, 6 days really. We were just doing the routine complex, 3-2-1. Mitch was underneath 300. I mean, he smoked it. Power cleaned the first one, squatted the second, kind of caught the third one a little funny, but I mean, it's 300 pounds. Like, it's a lot of weight. Hit the 2 front squats, and then he missed the jerk, like barely. And we were like, oh, don't worry, you've got that come game day. And he was like, dude, I felt something pop in my elbow when I caught that clean. It's like, yeah, you'll be fine. Like, don't worry about it. It happens. And he's like, nah, man, like, that wasn't normal. And so, like, okay, just take a little bit. Like, we even went into the next piece. It was like running GHDs and squats with the sandbag on your
did he
back.
do it?
He did that, but like, he didn't put his arm over his head. But like, we didn't use the worm, so it was like, he just put it on his shoulder, right, the other side. And we got done, got home that night, and he was like, man, it doesn't feel good. Like, I can't really straighten my arm. Like, there's something in there. There's no discoloration, and we're leaning towards either like a really heavy sprain, is what they said, or a partial tear. But like, it's been awesome with him this whole year. And so like, I personally, like, with the Santa Claus effect, was like, just wait, it'll be fine, over and over again, you know, like, Santa still exists type of stuff. And every day it got closer and closer. And I mean, we had the heart to heart. And it's like, hey, this is your spot. Like, it's not a deserved thing because that's entitlement. It is, you have earned this. I mean, that was my dude, still is. And I was like, I'm not going down until you tell me. And I mean, it really was a like the last second decision. He's like, it's unfair for me to say, okay, it's unfair. So we called up Alex, who again, I love that boy to death because I mean, amazing student, amazing man, awesome human being and man to Hannah. And he's like, okay, adhere to the call. And so I think we had one training session together.
Well, tell me a little bit about that process so far on like just kind of jumping in with this team.
The two emotions really are just scared and excited.
Okay.
I think initially I was pretty shocked to get the call. I think all of us were pretty surprised, but it was, Friday afternoon. I had just gotten out, and then I got a text from Hannah like, hey, you need to call us like as soon as you can. And so gave them a call. They kind of told me what was going on, and my initial reaction was just, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Step in and get after it.
For right now, especially with having a last minute sub, it's like we don't know how this is going to work. We had rehearsed this so many times with Mitch, so doing it now with Alex is like just going to be different. But it's one of those things that whenever you do team or partner stuff, a lot of it comes down to cadence and understanding the person that you're with. I think a lot of people can work really well on teams as long as you have a good cadence, as long as you have a good understanding of the person next to you.
Because he went with y'all on Monday to train, right?
6 days before. Yeah, we were down to our last like team, like we were tapering.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't like, that's one thing I want to
He was
tell.
like ready.
Yeah, like I wanted to, like Mitch can clean and jerk about 350 pounds. I've seen him put 360 overhead. So Mitch can do everything, and it was completely fine. Like I don't want that to go unnoticed. Oh, he shouldn't have been lifting that heavy that soon. Like trust me, that wasn't heavy if you know Mitch. It was enough weight the right way, and that was it. So it was unfortunate, but that was kind of it.
So kind of jumping into this year with semis, so we'll kind of skip over because we kind of touched on like how long have you been doing CrossFit. We talked about this is your second year at semis.
Right.
You were on Mitch and Alex's team last year.
Yep.
But then it was your back, right?
Yep.
That you had to pull out.
Yep.
And so shout out Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany. Yeah.
And so this is your first year getting to actually compete.
Yeah.
But with now kind of Alex being in Brittany's position where he's having to fill in for Mitch, y'all competed together. And then Annie and Logan have both competed together on their team last year. And so combining the teams and then having the subs, like how are you kind of feeling going into this weekend? What's your thoughts behind like the changed game plan, I guess?
I mean, it's an extremely tough scenario on all ends. There's 3 different parties to it. You know, it's like the people who are still getting to compete that are on the team that are not injured, the person who can't compete now because they're injured, and then the alternate. And every party, I think, deals with tough stuff there, but also every party can deal with, and it's different timing of when the good stuff happens from it. Like in my shoes last year, I did not have the good stuff. I did. I loved getting to watch those guys throw down and getting to be a part of and see for me what was possible once I was healthy. That, you know, later came the good stuff for me, but like during it was really hard, which, you know, obviously is going to be Mitch's position now. So, and then there's the alternate situation where he's getting to do something that is awesome, and he's, you know, so capable and fit enough to be on this team, and that's like, I mean, we're blessed to have the alternate we have, truly. So, but also he deals with the, you know, the situation of that he is the alternate in someone's place that doesn't get to compete now. So there's just like a lot of different emotions, I think, on it, and they all come in different ways at different times. But I think dynamic-wise, you know, I kind of feel like I could cry right now. And since I became a mom, that's like happens a lot. So just like ignore it for a second. I'll get over it. I've also gotten really good at being like, and then like getting past it. Like all the time I do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, Brixton. Like I don't even know why I'm thinking about you right now. But it's not even relatable.
Oh my gosh, I'm that way too.
But I will cry because I'm a mom now. It's insane. So I just, on one end of the crying, obviously I feel for Mitch, and it's just like a disgusting thing to have to go through. But he will not probably ever want to hear it, but especially right now that it like can just like launch what he's capable of. Because I know what it did for me in a year's time. It's like I didn't expect me to be who I am or be able to do the things I'm doing in a year, and I don't know if my teammates did or if Logan did. It's my coach. So it really can be something that's like you hate it and it's so cliche, but the best thing that ever happened to you. And then dynamic wise, on the other end of crying, it's like we've been training together since before fittest, and a lot of times, like 3 times a week. It's been 4, so we've been together a lot. Someone asked me a couple weeks ago, how's the dynamic of the team at my gym, and I was just like so excited to talk about that because I knew it shifted somewhere where I was like, man, it is like good. Like we're at training one day, we were just like goofing off together, so like just even getting to know each other more, because for a long time it was like we work out together, like we're doing that schedule, and I think we started to learn, especially like me becoming a part of it because I wasn't really around them last year as much, and like obviously Logan and Mitch together all the time, so like even me and Annie kind of having our things together where we could be like against the guys on that. So there was just like a lot of things that were like developing that I think can go a long way on a competition floor, even past like the fitness or the skills. So but I don't think that changes even with Alex because of like who Alex is. So that the dynamic is obviously different because it's a whole different human, but I think that the job's still the same, and I think that the possibility is still the same. And at this point, it's just like a little bit. It is what it is, and you have to just like, deal with the hand you're dealt and go and do it. And if it's not what we necessarily expected this year, obviously it's not, or if the results don't, end up what we expected this year, like, it sucks, but like there is a bigger picture, I think, for this team, and we've talked about it a little bit with next year being something we've all committed to, and I think that, there's a lot of good that can still happen, and I think delayed gratification is something that I've also become very aware of over the last several years in my life, and I think that it's probably easier for me to talk this way right now than it would be for Mitch, obviously, because I'm in the position of getting to compete. But I just think that we as a team have to not move on from Mitch by any means at all, but also we have to like still take what's been the last however many months that is of work and togetherness to still be true, and just plug Alex in and trust his fitness, because again, he's beyond fit and skilled, and he's competed on a level like this before, so it's like you don't have a scrub stepping in for us, and I think that if we can all just kind of trust that and execute like we've been training, and I think that it can be something good out of something bad, hopefully, is my hope.
No, I'm just really, really excited to give the other 3 an opportunity to continue their season, get to go out there and compete and push it.
Yeah.
And so, and want to try to fill the shoes as best I can for Mitch.
This team this year, quite frankly, gets me very emotional because we know about each other personally too. Like, we confide in each other, things we're going through, like struggles of family life and, losing loved ones and having babies and, real life stuff. And instead of keeping it all to ourselves, and even though some have tried, I've watched all of them just really lean into each other.
It's heartbroken is what it is to not have him, but he's the most selfless human being I've ever met, and for him to reluctantly give up his spot but still do what is best for the team is miles beyond anything I've ever been around, and I am just grateful to know him as a man, let alone as a teammate. So we called up Alex because we don't want Mitch to give up his spot, because he will go do it. He will tear his elbow from the bone for our team, for what? You know, he's stuck. He's got to be in a sling next year. It's like, okay, we make the games, but you can't have him because he can't do anything. So, like, I know he's going through it, but Mitch, if you ever watch this, I just want to tell you that I love you and I'm honored to know you. And thank you for getting us to this point, and just know that if we do qualify for the games, this one's for you.
Stick it on you, on your head. Going into injury, do you want to talk to us a little bit about kind of what's going on right now?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, the team this year was me, Logan, Tori, and Annie. That was the team for TFX. That was going to be the team up until last Thursday. So last Thursday, you know, we were in the middle of taper, and volume hasn't been super high over the past couple weeks. Like, body was actually feeling really, really good going into the taper. We were continuously hitting the lift portion of the clean and jerk complex, and I never got super heavy with it up until last Thursday, and then hit 285, felt really good, and then went for 300. You know, hit the first two cleans, and then on the third clean, I caught it. I caught it, I think, a little bit back rounded, so my front rack was a little bit forward, and I just remember standing up on the way. I just felt this loud, like, pop in my elbow, and, you know, wasn't immediately painful, so I didn't, like, react and drop the bar. I was just like, that was weird. Hit the two front squats, attempted the jerk, almost had it, and then just failed the jerk. Like, it wasn't because of pain, and it was just kind of like, okay, that was really weird. Like, doesn't feel right, you know, but it's not horrible. It's not like it didn't immediately swell up or bruise or anything like that.
You didn't feel like you tore anything.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I tore anything, like, badly.
Which we still don't know.
Which, you know, we still don't know. We haven't done imaging yet, but, and then I remember, like, we went into the next piece where it was, like, running GHDs and sandbag squats. And I just, like, I remember, like, leaning up my arm on the side of the rig and, like, being in, like, this externally rotated position, like, it just, like, shot up, like, just pain through my elbow. And I was like, ooh, like, oh, frick, no, please, not right now, you know, like, we're a week out. And I was like, but I could, you know, kind of extend it, not fully, all the way without pain. And then we went into the GHD workout where I had to, like, you know, touch my head. You throw your hands forward, and I just remember every time it was, like, excruciating. So I ended up, like, doing one-armed GHDs just to make it through that workout. And I think after that, like, mentally, it just kind of, like, spiraled a little bit, maybe. Like, it was like,
What spiraled?
just, like, my brain, like, I was just like, no, like, this can't be happening right now. Like, we've got to do semis in 6 days. Like, you know, maybe it's just like, I've had stuff like that happen to my knee before, where it's like I hear a loud pop and it kind of feels funky for a day or two, and then it's fine. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's what it is. And so, you know, I heated it up, you know, put a heating pack on it, like, pretty much all that night. The next day I went to see Alpha. Got dry needled and worked on and stuff like that, and, you know, didn't really feel much better after that. I remember, you know, the doctor there doing, like, the tests for UCL tear, and me kind of looking up some on my own, and, like, all the tests were positive for a tear, but could have just been a heavy strain, and we don't really know yet. But yeah, you know, a couple days goes by, it doesn't really get any better. I'm like, it's hurting to, like, do simple things like brush my teeth, shampoo my hair, stuff like that. And then I think come, like, Saturday or Sunday, it was still pretty painful. Like, it just wasn't getting any better. I kind of, you know, I think me and Logan had, like, made the decision. It's like, okay, hey, if, you know, Monday rolls around and, you know, trying to go through the movements even after I'm warmed up, if it's still painful.
You went to Houston to train on Monday, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. which I kind of already made the decision in my own head. And I think it was kind of like, you know, because the whole weekend I was stressing. Obviously, it was, you know, I think I called Alex that Friday or that Saturday. I think it was Saturday. I called him just to let him know the situation, like be ready to jump in if I'm not able to perform. And we kind of talked about it as a team, I think on Saturday as well, of kind of like what, you know, the decision that needed to be made. And I think for me, you know, just a couple of things were going through my head. Okay, one, let's say I do try and push through. Let's say I, you know, try and push through the pain and, you know, we get out on that floor and same thing happens. You know, I hurt it again. And one, I make it worse, you know, and two, that leaves them not being able to compete or us having to withdraw, and we've spent all this time and money to make it out here and try and make this thing happen. And I just felt like that decision was the worst of the two. That was not the best decision. I felt like pulling Alex in, and even if them not being able to do as well because of maybe a different dynamic, or, you know, obviously they haven't trained with Alex, they don't know, you know.
And Alex wasn't prepared.
And Alex wasn't prepared. I mean, yeah.
Thankfully, he's super fit.
Thankfully, yeah, he'd been keeping up with his fitness, so he's fine. But you know, just it does change everything for sure. But yeah, he, you know, I think that pulling him in was the better of the two decisions, because much rather than be able to go and actually complete the competition weekend versus, you know, us have to pull out. So
yeah. What is the biggest thing you've learned so far? I'm sure that there is so much that's frustrating or doesn't make sense, but is there anything that you've learned just in the past week? You could say no, and that'd be fine.
You know, I definitely think I learned something about myself. I think, like, you know, I think I've been doing a lot of things for the wrong reasons. You know, I think like a lot of me has chased this CrossFit thing for me. You know, whether that's consciously sometimes or maybe just unconsciously sometimes, like, and just like trying to center myself around, like, okay, it's not about me, you know. This isn't, like, you know, I'm not here to please myself, you know. As hard as it is to have to admit that sometimes, like, you know, just get so focused on something, and like you just kind of forget about God in that, and or how He could even be in it, or even if He wants to be in it, you know. I think sometimes we can just get super ambitious in the things that we're doing, and forget that we're not here for ourselves. And so, yeah, I would definitely be like, say that that's the number one thing I feel like I've been taught, is like, I've done a lot of this for my own pride, my own ego, you know. Even though those don't manifest in like ugly forms, I think internally it's just a war that I deal with myself, and I just don't like what it does to my soul. So it sucks, but do the best we can, stay positive, and just let, you know, you'll cheer them on, and hopefully they do well, and hopefully come back next year. So.
All right, Mitch, anything else you want to say to the people? I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, signing off. All right, get out of frame.